I'm using Bondo fiberglass resin, which comes with a hardener. I'm not sure how much this is going to take, but everything recommends doing small batches so that it doesn't set up before you use it. I got my fiberglass sleeve, ordered that online, came today. I got the 4-inch sleeve. I'm not so sure about the right way to do that. I think maybe I should have got the 2-inch sleeve because there's a lot of room for expansion. As you pull it tighter, it tightens itself up, kind of like a Chinese finger trap. As you push it towards each other, each end, it gets a little looser. So I mixed my resin and hardener, put the sleeve over, and this is the part I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm going to do yet about making that work. So I'm going to start. I've pulled it taut down here at the blade. I'm overhanging by a couple inches. Once I pull it a little more taut, I can start brushing this on. And this is supposed to wet the cloth into being relatively clear by the time it dries. This is the texture that you see on the blade. Just used a bin to hold the stick up off the workbench, make it easier to work with. This will, I guess, be kind of boring because I don't really have much to say. I've honestly never done this type of thing before. So I really don't know what I'm doing. I probably should be brushing away towards the end down here to keep it tight. And I want to go over the edge some. I want to make this end harden also, because I believe once that's hardened, I should be able to basically break it off, cut it off, and then sand it to get a good edge on it. It does look like the resin is soaking into the cloth really well, but I guess that's what it's meant to do. I might be going a little too thick with it. I watched a video of a hockey stick manufacturer showing this process, and I was a little surprised because they do it by hand without a brush. Their guy basically was holding the stick and sticking his hand in a bucket of resin and smearing it on by hand really quickly. Just a real big sloppy mess it looked like. And then they hang it off to dry. This is the part, the curve in here, that I'm worried about. But they also weren't doing a repair, they were doing the whole stick. I taped up here just to protect the wood area. I do plan on, my cut in the original glass is right about here. I'm probably going to overlap it just a little bit before I do my cut on the new stuff. But trying to get this to stay in the shape is not fun. over and get the other side and get it really well coated here. I should only have to do one coat as far as I understand. And really this is just added rigidity and a bit of waterproofing for the wood. I feel like the repairs I did on the blade, pretty solid. Used some heavy duty 2-part adhesive, epoxy. Filled in, actually weakened the cracks even more than they were, so I could really get my epoxy in deep. Actually used a grinding disc. There was one internal crack that didn't end to end. It didn't exit the blade, and I couldn't get it to spread so I could get epoxy in there. So I used a grinding disc on a Dremel tool and was able to expand it so that I could get epoxy up in there. I did clamp it even though I didn't probably need to because there was no real pressure point, but it filled it in really nicely and strong, and I don't have to worry about one big shot wrecking that part, cracking it worse. Or I think I'm going to have to do something with this to stretch it out a little bit and get it to stay. Once I get this part soaked, I'll get the other side and flip it and then pull it tight. Like I said, I've never actually done this before, so I don't really know what I'm doing. But I've got nothing to lose for trying, and I got a cool stick to gain if it works. I'm going to go hang the stick and we'll see what happens, I guess. Okay, a couple days later, I've already trimmed off some excess from both ends. Overall, I think it looks fairly decent. Now we're going to try trimming this off, and then I'll throw another layer of resin down there. Trim this. I've already scored my line. I should be able to hit that with the heat gun, peel that off. Tape will be last. I don't know. Overall, it looks like it came out fairly decent for my first try. A little globby back here, but it is dry and it's smooth. But maybe I went a little thick. I did discover my problem here. I should have used the longer sleeve and come up to here somewhere with the sleeve, so that as I was pulling the ends, it would have cinched down tight here. By coming here, it ended up expanding and leaving a bunch of loose fiber. But for this stick, I don't think I'm going to redo that. Moving forward, I think I know what I need to do differently. So again, I think I'm going to sand, I'm going to cut, I'm going to heat. I don't know yet. I've never done this before. You gotta be careful with the fibers. These slivers hurt. And you don't want to breathe it in. So the glass didn't close around the toe like I had hoped it would. Again, I'm not trying to make a brand new hockey stick. I'm just trying to add some rigidity to this blade that I fixed. So I'm going to continue to sand this down flush, and then I'm just going to put a layer of epoxy on there, really, or resin to waterproof it, make it last a little longer, maybe. And that's what that looks like, flush. And again, I'll just resin this here, and that'll clean it, seal it. So now we'll figure this out. I think with this one I'm going to try to keep a flap that I can wrap over. I should be able to do that. I think I'm ready to throw a coat of resin there, heat this up, fold it over, throw some resin on this, maybe build up this heel a little bit here. I ended up with like an air pocket, and I probably should just build it up with a little bit of resin just to make a smoother seal. Once I'm done, probably some really fine sandpaper to hit this edge of my overlap. I don't know if I really needed to overlap. I might recut that. Just a little concerned that it won't. If I make the cut in the right spot, but then I might not be able to peel this very easily. But it'll look a little more flush. Again, kind of a fun project. Making the stick usable again. Not making the stick brand new again. It's not going on display anywhere. Going on the ice, so it just needs to be solid and look pretty cool and make people go, huh, I haven't seen one of those in a long time. I mean, still a line there. Throw a wrap of tape around it, it won't look bad. I can touch that up a little bit there. So I'll mix up some resin. Pliers. Different gloves. I think I'm going to use a foam brush for this, just because I have a lot of them, and I'm only going to do a little bit. The other thing I think I could have done differently would have been to have used a little more ratio of hardener. I think that might have helped it cure faster. I'm 2 days later right now, and honestly it still feels a little tacky. That'll seal up nice there. Oh, we got like a bug. Yeah, that'll seal up real well. So, now that I experienced that, I'm going to heat this lip a little bit, make it more flexible. Maybe as good as that'll get. Throw some more resin in here. Yeah, just too stiff. So I probably need to just cut that off. I'm gonna have to let this dry now. In the meantime, I want to make a little snip. Patch that heel. That'll probably be my best way of doing that. A little bit unnecessary. As long as it was sealed, I could have built it up with anything. But I figured, well, I had some hardener made up, why not give it a go? Some resin. Well, that might have been a good call. That filled in quite a bit. Now it's just a waiting game at this point. Go back to letting this stuff dry so I can trim that edge. This is already drying pretty decent up here. Use the plastic to spread it. Sealed good. So this time, I'm going to take this sucker outside for a while. So I'm going to shut this off. Come back tonight, maybe tomorrow. Okay, a couple updates since the last segment. I went ahead and trimmed off this section of the extra that I had left on there. Added some more, sanded down both edges, added some resin. Added some more fibers to the heel to shape it better. And basically just been letting it dry. There's still some tacky areas, but the blade for the most part is dry. So I need to like shape this down a little bit because of the fibers I put there. And then it'll probably be considered done. I really added a lot of extra fiber and went pretty heavy on the resin with a lot of hardener to really make it thick and hold in and shape that heel really well. I don't know if this tape's gonna peel off very well. Got a little resin on it. So I might end up touching up a couple spots with just some black paint on a brush just to pretty it up a little bit more, but I'm not gonna sand and shape and repaint. The last stick, I masked off the logo, repainted basically the whole blade, or the whole paddle. It was a lot of work. It was very difficult to make it look right. So basically, let's see if I can get back here and see it. I'll put up some before and after. It's a little dirty. Some dirt built into the mixed in with the resin, it looks like, probably from the workbench. I'll put some before and afters, but I mean ultimately too, the next test is there's no flex. Remembering this crack went all the way to about here. There was a, so the main crack went all the way to there. Up here there was a crack. Down here was cracked in and really loose. The whole bottom of the blade was coming loose. Good 3 inches there, maybe 4. This was the big crack. There was really no structure left because of that. We're a little ugly up here. I might, I could sand that, but I'll probably just wrap a stripe of tape on there. I have some black tape around here somewhere that might look all right. Or maybe bring my blade tape all the way up. Other than that, it is strong. I'm considering that done. I did order some different fiberglass sleeve today for the next stick I'm gonna do. I ordered, this was 4 inch, I ordered 3 inch because I didn't realize there was that much expansion to it. And this is about 4.5 inches at the widest point. I'm sorry, about 4 inches there, but here was just under 4.5. So I ordered 3 inch because the last time I ordered 4. And I know the 3 will expand at least to 4.5 inch now that I've played with this stuff once. So, and again, on the next one, I'll bring if it's just a blade I'm working on, I'm going to bring the sleeve up well past the heel so that I'm pulling here and out here, which will cinch the heel much better. I won't have to go through that ordeal of reshaping the heel, and it'll all be one solid piece. I could have brought this up to here, probably would have looked better with the tape line, or with the fiberglass line matching up with the paint line, would have hit it better. Learning lessons. Again, this is the first time I've ever done it this way. I've never actually used that fiberglass cloth before. Preferably, hopefully, next time I go out on the ice, I'll wear the reactors and I'll take the SuperLight and see how it goes.